Imagine you step outside on a summer morning. The sun is rising, the light is warm on your face, everything feels safe, everything feels as it should be. You are standing 330,000 Earth masses away from the most powerful object in our solar system, and it is slowly, methodically, irreversibly changing the conditions that make your life possible. The sun is not your friend. It is a nuclear furnace 4.5 billion years old, burning through its fuel at a rate of 600 million tons of hydrogen per second. It is the reason life exists on Earth, and it is the reason life on Earth will eventually end. Not because it will explode, not because it will suddenly change, but because it is doing exactly what it has always done, and what it has always done is getting slowly, steadily, permanently more intense. Before we go further, if this video makes the sky look different to you, if the morning light feels like something you need to understand more deeply, hit that like button and subscribe to Cosmos Insight. Every subscriber helps us keep making these documentaries. Now, let's look at the sun. The sun is a main sequence star. This means it is in the stable, long-burning phase of its life. The phase where it fuses hydrogen into helium in its core, releasing enormous amounts of energy in the process. This phase lasts approximately 10 billion years for a star the size of our sun. We are currently about 4.5 billion years into it. That sounds stable. That sounds safe. But here's what stable actually means for a star. As the sun fuses hydrogen into helium, the helium accumulates in the core. Helium is denser than hydrogen. As the helium builds up, the core becomes more compact and hotter. A hotter core fuses hydrogen faster. Faster fusion means more energy output. More energy output means a brighter sun. The sun has been getting brighter for 4.5 billion years. It will continue getting brighter for the next 5 billion years. And the rate of brightening is not dramatic. It is slow, steady, and completely inexorable. Over the course of its main sequence life, the sun's luminosity increases by roughly 1% every 100 million years. 1% every 100 million years sounds trivial. It is not. Here is where everything changes. When life first appeared on Earth, approximately 4 billion years ago, the sun was approximately 30% dimmer than it is today. A 30% dimmer sun should have meant a frozen Earth. The mathematics of solar radiation at that distance predicts surface temperatures well below freezing for most of Earth's early history. And yet the early Earth had liquid water. It had oceans. It had the conditions for life. This is called the faint young sun paradox. The sun was too dim to warm the Earth, and yet the Earth was warm. The resolution involves early atmospheric chemistry. Much higher concentrations of greenhouse gases in the early atmosphere that compensated for the weaker sunlight. But here is the thing about that compensation. It was a balance, a specific chemical balance between a dimmer sun and a thicker greenhouse atmosphere. That balance has been shifting for 4 billion years as the sun has brightened. And the compensation mechanisms, the natural systems that kept Earth's temperature in the habitable range as the sun brightened, have been working slowly and without us noticing to keep pace with a sun that keeps getting more powerful. Those compensation mechanisms have limits, but here's the problem. The compensation is already starting to fail. The long-term carbon cycle is Earth's primary thermostat. Carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is dissolved by rainwater, carried to the oceans, and eventually locked in carbonate rock through geological processes. As the sun brightens and the Earth warms, silicate weathering, the chemical process that removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, speeds up. More carbon dioxide is removed. The greenhouse effect weakens. The Earth cools back toward the habitable range. This is an elegant system. It has been keeping Earth habitable for 4 billion years. But it works by removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and there is a lower limit to how much carbon dioxide the atmosphere can lose before the consequences become catastrophic in a different direction. Plants need carbon dioxide to survive. At sufficiently low carbon dioxide concentrations, photosynthesis fails. The plants die. The ecosystems that depend on them collapse. The food chains built on top of those ecosystems collapse. In approximately 600 million years, as the sun continues to brighten, the long-term carbon cycle will have removed enough carbon dioxide from the atmosphere that plants begin to fail. Not suddenly, gradually, over millions of years. C3 plants, which include most trees and food crops, will fail first. C4 plants, which include grasses and some food crops, are more efficient and will survive longer. But eventually, the carbon dioxide concentration will fall below the minimum required for all photosynthesis. And when photosynthesis fails, the oxygen producing process that keeps Earth's atmosphere breathable will stop. Complex animal life, everything from insects to fish to mammals to humans, depends on oxygen. Without photosynthesis producing oxygen, atmospheric oxygen levels will decline. The complex life that evolved over hundreds of millions of years will not be able to survive. In approximately 800 million years, complex animal life on Earth is expected to be impossible. And here is where everything changes again. That is not the end of Earth's story. After the collapse of complex life, Earth's surface may still support simpler organisms. Heat-tolerant microbes, extremophiles, the kinds of organisms that existed before the Cambrian explosion, before multicellular life evolved its extraordinary diversity. Life is extraordinarily resilient, and the window for simple microbial life on Earth may extend significantly beyond the window for complex life. But the brightening sun does not stop. In approximately 1 billion years from now, not the distant future in geological terms, just 1 billion years, the sun will be approximately 10% brighter than it is today, 10% more solar energy reaching Earth's surface. The oceans will begin to warm beyond what the natural thermostat can compensate for. The hydrological cycle will accelerate. More water evaporates into the atmosphere. Water vapor is itself a greenhouse gas. The warming amplifies itself in a feedback loop. Warmer temperatures evaporate more water. More water vapor warms the planet further. Scientists call this a moist greenhouse effect. It is the beginning of a process that, once started, becomes self-sustaining. The water that evaporates into the upper atmosphere is broken apart by ultraviolet radiation from the sun, hydrogen escaping into space, oxygen remaining behind. Over millions of years, the oceans lose water, not all at once, slowly, over geological time. But the direction is irreversible. In approximately 1.5 billion years, Earth's oceans may be gone. But that's still not the worst part. In approximately 5 billion years, the sun will have exhausted most of the hydrogen in its core. The core will contract. The outer layers will expand. The sun will become a red giant. During the red giant phase, the sun's radius will expand to somewhere between 100 and 200 times its current size. Mercury will be engulfed. Venus will be engulfed. Whether Earth is engulfed depends on the precise dynamics of the expansion and the loss of the sun's mass during the process. Models are uncertain, but even if Earth is not physically swallowed, it will be scorched beyond any possibility of life. The surface temperature will exceed thousands of degrees. The rock itself will melt. Whatever remains of the atmosphere will be blasted away. Whatever remains of the oceans, if any liquid water survived the moist greenhouse billions of years earlier, will be gone. Earth will become something like Mercury looks today, or worse. There is something about all of this that is almost impossible to process. The sun that is killing Earth is the same sun that created the conditions for life on Earth in the first place. Without the sun's energy, no photosynthesis. No photosynthesis, no oxygen. No oxygen, no complex life. No complex life, no us. The sun gave us everything, and the sun is taking it back. Not out of malice, not even out of change. The sun is doing exactly what it has always done. Burning, brightening, being a star. The killing is not an event, it is a process. The same process that warmed the early oceans. The same process that drives every weather system on Earth. The same process that every plant on Earth is converting to sugar right now. The thing that makes life possible on Earth is the thing that will end it. This is not unique to Earth. This is the story of every planet in a habitable zone around every star in every galaxy. The star that makes the zone habitable is also, slowly and inevitably, the star that unmakes the habitability it created. Every inhabited world, if the universe contains any, lives under a clock set by the brightening of its star. The habitable zone is not a permanent address, it is a temporary condition, a window that opens and closes as the star evolves. Our window has been open for 4 billion years. In approximately 500 million years, it begins to close. Here is what stays with you. You step outside on a summer morning. The sun is rising. The light is warm on your face. The sky is blue. The plants around you are growing, turning sunlight into oxygen, into food, into the air you breathe. Everything that is happening right now This exact moment is the window. This is what the habitable zone looks like from the inside. Warm enough for liquid water, cool enough for complex chemistry, bright enough for photosynthesis, stable enough for civilization. This window has existed for 4 billion years. It will exist for approximately 500 million more. 500 million years sounds like forever. In geological terms, it is not. It is approximately the same length of time that has passed since the Cambrian explosion, since the first complex animal life appeared in Earth's oceans. We exist in the middle of the window, not at the beginning, not at the end, but in the middle of a precisely defined period of habitability that the sun created and the sun is slowly ending. The morning light on your face is real. The warmth is real. The blue sky is real. The photosynthesis happening in every leaf around you is real. And it is all running on a timeline set by a nuclear furnace 93 million miles away that has been brightening for 4.5 billion years and will not stop. Look at the sun tomorrow morning. Not directly, never directly, but look toward it. Feel the warmth. That warmth is the most extraordinary gift in the solar system, and it comes with an expiration date